Next topic is nuclear power station. The power station in which nuclear energy is converted into electrical energy is called nuclear power station. The chief atomic fuel used is uranium-235 or thorium-232. In the nuclear power station, when 1 kg of uranium is splitted by fission process, a tremendous amount of heat energy is liberated, which is roughly equivalent to that obtained by burning about 2500 tons of high-grade coal. This is the diagram for nuclear power station. First is nuclear reactor. In a nuclear reactor, the fission process is carried out. A nuclear reactor is an apparatus where a controllable nuclear fission chain reaction can be maintained. Next is heat exchanger. In the heat exchanger, the gas is heated or steam is generated, which is utilized to drive gas turbine or steam turbine coupled to the alternator. Next is turbine. In turbine, heat energy is converted into an electrical energy. Then next is condenser. In condenser, low pressure steam is converted into water, which is fed to the boiler. Then turbine is coupled with the alternator, which converts mechanical energy into an electrical energy. Here are some features of nuclear power plant. A nuclear power station which utilizes minerals like uranium has its own advantages and disadvantages. Fuel required is quite less, running cost is low, cost of generation is small, power stations are most economical in large capacity. So disadvantages are capital cost is high for nuclear power station. High technical staff is required for operating the station. Fuel available is quite expensive. So here are some important terms which are related to power stations. First term is connected load. So we must know that what is connected load. A power station supplies load to various consumers. Some are bulk consumers and some are small consumers. Each consumer has its certain equipments installed at the consumer premises. The sum of the continuous ratings of all the equipments in the consumer premises is the connected load of the consumer. Second is maximum demand. The load on the power station is not constant. It varies from time to time. The maximum of all period is the maximum demand. The maximum demand is generally less than connected load because all the consumers do not switch on their connected load to the system. Next is demand factor. Demand factor is the ratio of maximum demand to the connected load of a power station. So we can define it as maximum demand divided by connected load. The value of demand factor is always less than 1. Next is average load. Average load occurring on the power station in a given period, we can find it for a day or month or a year. We can have three formulas for average load for 24 hours, for 1 month and for 1 year. Then next is load factor. Load factor is the ratio of average load and maximum demand. Load factor is always less than 1. Next is diversity factor. Diversity factor is the ratio of sum of individual maximum demands to the maximum demand of the power system. The value of diversity factor is always greater than 1. Next is plant capacity factor. It is the ratio of actual energy produced to the maximum possible energy that could have been produced during a given period. Plant factor is defined as average demand divided by plant capacity. Last is plant use factor. Plant use factor is given by station output in kilowatt hour divided by plant capacity into hours of use. Here is one more definition of reserve capacity. Reserve capacity is plant capacity minus maximum demand. Here is the comparison of all the different power stations which we have discussed. Comparison of site selection of steam, hydro, nuclear, diesel and gas power station. Then running cost of steam is higher Then hydroelectric. Running cost of hydro is almost nil. Running cost for nuclear power station is quite low, and running cost is highest among all the stations because of the high price of diesel, and gas turbines cost is also high. So capital cost for steam power station is less than hydro. Capital cost is very high because of dam construction. Capital cost for nuclear power station is high because of the construction of atomic reactor. Capital cost is much less as compared to other stations for diesel. Capital cost for gas turbines are very less. So this is the comparison between all the power stations. Our last topic from chapter 1 is non-conventional sources of energy. The demand of electricity is increasing day by day, not in India but in the world also. It is noted that the present conventional resources, that is coal, petroleum and natural gas, used for generation of electrical power may not be either sufficient or suitable to meet the ever increasing demand of electrical power. They also create pollution. So this pollution is likely to be more acute in the coming days. Other non-conventional sources of energies are solar and wind. First of all, we are going to discuss solar power generation. In solar power generation, sun is the primary source of energy. The solar energy can be used for generation of electrical power. It can generate sufficient power if it is properly and economically harnessed. The main advantage of solar energy is that it is not exhaustible and also completely pollution free. This is the diagram for solar power plant. First of all, the main equipment for solar power plant is solar collector, which collects sun rays and then heats the fluid. This is the storage tank. Then steam is fed to the boiler. Steam is fed to the condenser, which it converts steam into water. Then water is fed to the turbine, which is coupled to the alternator, and it converts into the electrical energy. The efficiency of such plant varies from 15 to 18%. Next, non-conventional source is wind. This is the simple diagram for wind station. The electrical power generated by means of windmills is known as wind power generation. Winds are caused by the solar heating of the atmosphere. They carry enormous quantity of energy. Wind energy is inexhaustible, renewable and pollution free. The drawback of wind power generation is that it is not steady and unreliable because there is a wide variation in the speed and direction of winds. The variations in the speed creates problems like functioning, fluctuating voltages and frequency. The wind power is harnessed to drive a wind turbine to which an alternator is coupled. The figure shows the diagram for wind turbine.